Hello there, welcome to another episode of the Allotment Dram. This is a series of short videos where we sit and talk about different whiskies in the surroundings of our North London allotment, and you join me here today on what's been a lovely afternoon actually. Quite bright, sunny, quite warm, got lots done, really enjoyable to spend a Sunday afternoon up here on the plot, and also been picking some things, and it's one of my favourite times of the year actually, because I've raided the cherry tree. Look at that, absolute beauties. There's still probably about half that again, if not the same amount on the tree. So always one of my favourite times of the year. So not quite sure what we're going to do with it. They make great cocktail cherries, by the way. They're quite sour cherries, so yeah, we sometimes make cocktail cherries, but we'll see what happens with that. Also pick some more runner beans there, and full swing at the moment, so literally every time I come here I'm taking this sort of amount home. So yeah, they'll be going for probably 2 or 3 more weeks. And also picked a globe artichoke as well. Had a couple the other night for dinner, and thought I'd pick another one. So yeah, very fruitful today, literally. But while that's all very interesting, of course most of you didn't tune in to hear about that or what the weather's doing in North London. You tuned to hear about some whiskey and discover something. So what is the Allotment Dram today, I hear you ask? Well, it's a relatively new whiskey actually, and we're very excited by it. It's the FILEY Nurture, and this is part of a new series from the Spirit of Yorkshire distillery, who, you know, we followed their progress really since they started back in 2017, and yeah, really sort of liking what they're doing on several levels. But this is part of a series, the first part actually of a series called the Regenerative editions, and this is Nurture, and this is actually a permanent exclusive in Waitrose supermarket here in the UK. So it's only the second English whiskey to get a full listing in a major supermarket in the UK here, so Cotswolds being the other one. So yeah, they've actually produced it exclusively for Waitrose. So if you like the sound of it, go and search out your local Waitrose. But the Regenerative editions will basically explore the role of regenerative farming in whiskey making, and this is something that Spirit of Yorkshire are doing and following. So it basically means that you have things like cover crops, so there's no like bare soil, and your barley grows through that, and basically the roots of that cover crop, so something like clover or mustard or something like that, will actually knit and retain the fertilizer and everything within the soil, the natural sort of dynamics of the soil. So they don't use any pesticides, they don't use any fertilizers. And the thing we like there as well is that they grow all of their own barley. So it is, you know, very interesting, you know, so they really have that grip on where everything is coming from and what's happening. The only time the barley actually leaves the farm, which is connected to the distillery, is when it goes to get malted, and that's literally a few miles away as well. So great sort of traceability, and you know all these sort of buzz things that are happening at the moment. And actually regenerative farming is something we've read quite a lot about it, and we're starting to think about what we can do here on the plot. So we've started putting it into action actually to try and get cover crops, so that, you know, we're increasing the stability and the fertility of the soil naturally, rather than putting sort of artificial fertilizer on and things like that. So this will be available, as I say, in Waitrose exclusively. So check out waitrose.com or visit your local store, and that'll be throughout the UK, also Jersey and Guernsey as well. And it's bottled at 46.5%, and it's non-chill filtered and natural colour as well, and will cost you £60. So I think without further ado, that's enough chat about the weather and what I've picked and regenerative farming, we should try some whiskey, I think. So here we go. Look at that lovely, bright, vibrant gold. Very sort of, you know, good for sort of this sort of day. You know, you want something that's quite bright, quite uplifting. Oh my, wow. Very bright, refreshing, expressive. You've got some red apple there, straight away. Some green pear as well, like crisp green pear. Then there's some sweetness, there's some honey and almost like a bit of sort of pink bubblegum or marshmallow, something like that. Let's have a taste. That sort of whole brightness and sort of uplifting nature comes through on the palate, just bursts onto the palate. Got that red apple, the green pear, the honey, a bit of almost a bit more icing sugary sort of sweetness now rather than that pink bubblegum and marshmallow. But you've also got this lovely, once you get past that initial kind of sort of almost like a zingy tanginess, there's, you know, something a bit softer and creamier. You've got some vanilla ice cream, and like really good vanilla ice cream, not the cheap stuff, but really good vanilla ice cream. And also some white chocolate as well. It's just adding to that sort of creamy nature. What else are we getting? There's a little bit of other fruitiness as well, you know, rather than just the apple and the pear. There's a bit of it's like a ripe peach, and then a bit of, just in the background, there's a bit of like confected strawberry. So it could be, it's like a strawberry jam or something like that. But let's have another taste. Very, very nice. I've done really well with this. I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. This time, I'm now getting a bit more sort of malty cereal nature. It's sort of like, it's a very sort of oatmeal-y, malty biscuit sort of vibe going on. A little pinch of cocoa as well, and just sort of towards the end there's a little like twist of lemon zest, and then some quite drying oak. Actually, it's catching me on the inside of my cheeks. Yes, you get this sort of drying tannin from the oak. Very, very nice indeed. Yeah, really pleased to have got a bottle of this. And as I say, if you like the sound of it, you know, we really like what Spirit of Yorkshire are doing. We followed their progress and they seem to be doing very, very well. You know, arguably one of the best English whiskey companies, you know, probably themselves, like Cotswolds, the Lakes, White Peak with their Wireworks, St George's, you know, they're probably, maybe Fielden as well with their rye whiskey, you know, it's not single malt but rye. They're probably your top 5 or 6, you know, and Spirit of Yorkshire is sitting, you know, somewhere near the top, you know, sort of in the Champions League places, let's say. But yeah, very, very good. This is lovely. I mean, if you walked into a Waitrose supermarket, I think this is a key point. If you walked into a Waitrose supermarket, you didn't know what this was, and you went, English whiskey, okay, I'm going to try that. This would be a great first example of what the quality of what's out there, you know, those 5 or 6 distilleries and beyond. But, you know, superbly sort of, as I said, uplifting, expressive. You've got lovely sweetness, you've got lovely fruitiness, and then you've got that malty sort of undertone underneath with a bit of drying oak, and it's, you know, very, very good indeed. So yes, I think that's probably about it. We'll leave you to get on doing whatever you were doing before you stumbled across this video. So from myself and the FILEY Bay Nurture, from their new Regenerative editions, we will bid you farewell, and hopefully we'll see you again soon for another Allotment Dram. Thanks for watching, and cheers.